Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday of week 4. We are continuing on in chapter 13. This is 13.4, area of composite figures. Now, this is the last lesson for chapter 13, so we are finished after today. Once we get through this lesson, there will be a small assignment, and then I have scheduled for Tuesday and Wednesday a short quiz on chapter 13. Now, don't panic about the quiz. Obviously, you will have access to all your notes, all my videos, the textbook, whatever you need to do very well on this quiz. I just want to make sure that you all have learned the different steps and formulas and how to solve these problems. I know that I've had quite a bit of questions on the perimeter of composite figures, and so now we're on to area. So I gave 2 days for that quiz, Tuesday and Wednesday, so I didn't schedule any assignments on those days. So of course, if you finish that quiz early, you can finish up the week relatively quickly. It is a light week. We'll start chapter 14 with the assignment of what you have learned before, just to get you ready for the lesson, and then Friday we will do 14.1. So for area of composite figures, we need to know how to find the area of all the different shapes that are going to make up a composite figure. Because if you remember, a composite figure is a shape that's composed of 2 or more different shapes, or same shapes, but nonetheless, you need to know the different formulas of area. Now, you should know these anyways, but if you forgot, or if you just don't seem to remember and you need a refresher, we'll go ahead and we're going to write those down on this first slide here. So the area of a triangle will be A equals half of the base times the height of the triangle. And another way you could write this is base times height divided by 2. They're the same exact thing, just whichever's easiest for you to remember or to use when you're solving these problems. Area of a rectangle, we all should know, is length times width, or if you've learned base times height, same difference, which of course is what the area of a parallelogram is. It's base times height. Okay? Area of a circle is what we just did last week. It's going to be pi times the radius squared. If you want to add in the semicircle here, would be pi times the radius squared divided by 2. And then you might see trapezoids. And those are a little bit different. If you remember, or if you're not sure what a trapezoid looks like, you're going to have one set of parallel lines, which are going to be called your bases, and then you have the two. This is a base, and this is a base, and then you have your 2 non-parallel lines. So just so you can get a visual, the area of a trapezoid formula is 1/2 the height times base 1 plus base 2. Okay, so basically you're going to have a height here. This is going to be a 90-degree angle. This is your height. You have base 1, base 2. It's half of the height times the sum of the 2 bases. Okay? So those are the formulas you're going to need to know to be able to solve the area of composite figures. If we move on to an example here, here is a composite figure that is composed of 2 shapes. We have a rectangle and we have a triangle. So all we do is find the area of each shape separately, and then you add the 2 together. Okay? So we know that the area of the triangle is half the base times height. So if I'm looking at the triangle here, this is my height. This is my base. Okay? there's no dimension here, but I know that this is a rectangle that it's attached to. So if I know what this side length is, I know what this side length is. So this side length is going to be 9 meters. Okay, so my area is half of my base is 9 and my height is 6. So the area of the triangle part of this is going to be 9 times 6 is 54, and I can divide that by 2 or take half of 54, and that's going to be 27 meters. So that's just for the triangle. Okay. Now we need to do the area of the rectangle. So area of a rectangle is length times width. I'm going to have 9 times 7, and that equals 63 meters. So this is for the rectangle. And so now I just add the two areas together. 63 plus 27 equals 90 meters. So it is for sure very important that you have the correct formulas for these areas, or you will not get the correct answer. Okay? Again, you're just finding the area of each shape and adding all of those areas together. All right? So, with that being said, I'm going to do one more example. I did forget one thing though. Since this is area of a polygon, it's actually meters squared. Remember, area is always square units or units squared, because not only are you multiplying 9 times 7, but you're multiplying meters times meters. So meters times meters is meters squared. Okay? So my mistake for forgetting that part. These are all meters squared. Okay. Here's another example. I put some circles in here, or some semicircles, I should say. I did my best trying to draw this shape with the whiteboard here, so please forgive the drawing. But what we have here is a square, and then we have two full circles. So really what we need to do, and you could see, since this is a square, that means all these side lengths are the same, which means the diameter is going to be the same on the circles. So this one is a little bit easier in the fact that all we need to do is find the area of the square, and then find the area of one of the circles. Like these two semicircles can form one circle, and then you can just times it by 2, because there's two circles with the same diameter. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll just do the square first. So the area of the square, we didn't go over that particular formula, but we know it's side times side, or side squared, and we know that our sides are 2. So area equals 2 times 2, which equals 4 feet squared. So this is for the square. Now the area of one circle is area equals pi times the radius squared. Area equals 3.14 times. Now what is my radius? It's telling me my diameter is 2, so then that means my radius is half of 2, so it is just 1. And 1 squared is also just 1. So my area is 3.14 feet for one, I can spell, for one circle. Okay, so since I have 2 circles, I'm going to times this by 2, and I'm going to get 6.28 feet. And then that's for both circles. For both circles, I'm going to take this number and add it to this number. 6.28 plus 4. Remember, when you're adding decimals, you have to line up your place values. And I'm going to get 10.28 feet squared. Okay, seems like a lot of work, but as long as you have your formulas, you will be able to do this. If you have any questions, you know I'm here. Have a great week, guys. Thanks.